Hello everyone, this is Ravi from A Geek Apps. On a daily level, a lot of you might be using music streaming apps like Wing Music, Spotify, Ghana, Amazon Prime Music, Geo7, Deezer. But have you ever wondered how these music streaming apps recommended songs or music tracks that seem very much interested to you? If that bothers you, then surely this video will interest you. In this video, I'll be discussing the paper titled A Semi-Personalized System for User Cold Start Recommendation on Music Streaming Apps, which was recently published at KDD conference.
This paper is from Deezer Research. Deezer is a global music streaming app. Like any other music streaming app, Deezer recommends songs, tracks, and playlists that are relevant to the users of the app. In general, for any app, there are three kinds of users. 1. Warm or dense users, users who use the app daily. 2. Sparse users, users who use app occasionally. 3. Cold users, users who just join the app. Any company wants the users to use their app daily, and it is very important to have a good recommendation engine so that users get relevant content and use the app daily. And so it is also very important to show the right interesting content to the new users so that they'll come back to use the app. Otherwise, the users may get a bad impression about the content and totally stop using the app. This paper specifically addresses the recommendation for new users, which is known as user cold start problem. A general approach to effectively recommend personalized content on the app is collaborative filtering, which broadly consists in predicting the preferences of a user within a set of items or tracks in this case by leveraging the known preferences of some similar users. However, the preferences of these techniques tend to significantly degrade for new users who only had zero or few interactions with the app. This, in general, is called the user cold start problem. There is another problem known as item cold start problem, where the problem is how to recommend new items to the users, which is out of scope of this paper and discussion in the video. To address the problem of user cold start, researchers from Deezer proposed an approach known as semi-personalized recommendations. Before going into the details of the paper, a few statistics about Deezer. As you can see in the figure on the right side, Deezer is a global music streaming app connecting 14 million active users across 180 countries with 73 million tracks. Going to the problem statement,
So the problem statement they are addressing is this. Given an existing latent model for collaborative filtering, learning and embedding space from a set of warm users, how can we effectively include new cold users into the same space by the end of their registration day on Deezer? This means how can we keep cold users in the space or clusters of warm users so that these cold users will eventually become warm users. So the solution starts from building a large scale latent model for collaborative filtering and then trained on Deezer's warm users. It automatically integrates cold users into the existing embedding space by collecting user demographic features such as country, age, and interaction information of these users at the registration day. Processed by a deep neural network and by leveraging a clustering of warm users to strengthen the final representation and provide semi-personalized recommendation to cold users by the end of their registration day. For the rest of the paper, it is assumed that the app has a catalog of M music tracks for N warm users over a fixed period of time. As said, the paper builds on latent models. They use two sets of latent models. One, ALS alternating least squares, and two, SVD singular value decomposition applied on the interaction data. There are different components for the overall strategy. building latent models on warm users interaction data and get user and track embeddings. This can be done by applying ALS on warm users, user track interaction data, and get user embeddings and track embedding separately. The second approach is inspired by the word-to-word model, wherein tracks which are co-occurring will be in similar embedding space. So we give track co-occurrence matrix as input to SVD and get track embeddings. Once you get track embeddings, and to get user embeddings, we average out the embeddings of the tracks with which the users has interacted with. Once you get embeddings of warm users using ALS or SVD, we segment the warm user base into 10,000 clusters using the K-means approach. And for each cluster, the most popular music tracks to recommend is also pre-computed. Now you have user embeddings, track embeddings, and users are segmented into 10,000 clusters. We need to build a network to get the embeddings of cold users using warm users embeddings that we got from ALS or SVD. This is the architecture they have proposed to get the same. This has two parts. One is user side information, the other is interaction side. Starting with user side information, whenever a user registers on the app collects demographic features such as country and age of the user, like onboarding session that we have on Netflix. Let's take a sample point of warm user. He or she belongs to the country X. Now we average out the user embeddings of all the warm users belonging to the country X. And similarly, if his age is Y, now we average out the user embeddings of all warm users belonging to the age Y. And then we concatenate these two averaged vectors to get a big vector along with the user age information. Next, coming to the interaction side, the user might have streamed some songs or maybe searched for song or maybe artistic streams. Now we average out the track embeddings in the similar way we did on the user side information to get three different vectors. And then we concatenate these three different vectors along with number of streams and number of searches the user has made. And finally, we concatenate these two big vectors to get the giant vector and pass through three-layer hidden neural network to get the user embeddings. Since we have ground truth user embeddings from ALS or SVD, we can compute the loss and backpropagate so that the network is trained to get the user embeddings. Remember that this network is trained on warm users data only. Now, when a new user, the cold user interacts with the app on the registration day, we have information about the country and age of the user. Then we average out the embeddings of user belongs to the country and age and get the vector on user side information. And for interaction side, by the end of registration day, if we make some interactions with app, we average out the embeddings of tracks related to song search stream and get final vector. Now we concatenate these two big vectors to get a giant vector and pass it through three-layer hidden neural network to finally get the embeddings of the cold user. Now we have all different components made. Next, we'll see the overall strategy made approached by the author. Now coming to the overall strategy, during the offline stage, we have warm user embeddings from SVD or ALS and demographic features and interactions from registration day. We segmented warm users into 10,000 clusters using K-means and trained a network to get the user embeddings. This we call embeddings prediction model that we have seen earlier. And we have centroids of each cluster and also pre-computed recommended tracks for each cluster or maybe the segment. And during offline stage, for a new user or cold user, we have demographics and interactions of this user at the end of registration day. Using this information and the embeddings prediction model, we get the embeddings for cold users. Now we see to which warm cluster This goal user belongs to using the goal user embeddings and accordingly recommend the tracks which are recommended to the particular warm user cluster and then recommend them to the cold user. This is the overall strategy to make recommendations by the end of registration day to a cold user. Coming to the results section, two models are trained separately with SVD embeddings and ALS embeddings, and both are compared with various baselines. The metrics shown are precision at the rate 50, recall at the rate 50, and NECG at the rate 50. Since the popularity baseline is not dependent on any type of embeddings, it shows the same scores for the two embeddings. And it can also be observed that it is the least performing baseline among all other baselines. Starting with SVD embeddings, the proposed semi-personalized model performs better than all the baselines, including the latest models, DropoutNet and Melu. And regarding ALS embeddings, the proposed semi-personalized model performs comparable to all the baselines. And it is interesting to see the DropoutNet and Melu are performing better than the proposed approach with ALS embeddings. Overall, the results are better with SVD embeddings compared to ALS embeddings. Continuing in the results section, this figure shows precision at the rate 50 scores for the model using SVD embeddings based on the interaction that the user had on registration day. It is observed that the model returns better results for users who streamed or skimmed more tracks on the registration day. Liking at least 3 artists during the onboarding session also improves the recommendations. On the contrary, it also shows that the users without any interaction get a lower average precision at the rate 50 score. The figure on the right shows the popularity distribution of recommended tracks from the proposed approach, which is trained with SVD embeddings. The semi-personalized approach stands out from the popularity baseline, and it recommends tracks mainly among the 5,000 most popular tracks in the dataset out of 50,000. Whereas the fully personalized model variant of the approach permits recommending even less mainstream tracks. This shows the proposed approach, that is the semi-personalized model, is better than the fully personalized model. They even did online evaluations to see how effective their proposed semi-personalized model is in the production stage. They performed a large-scale A/B test for a month to compare semi-personalized models using TT SVD embeddings and default model, which is prior to this approach. It is observed that the relative display to stream and display to favorite rates, that is the model permits selecting playlists on which cold users are more likely to click on and then to stream the underlying content or add it to their list of favorite content. As you can see, the semi-personalized model is performing far better than the default model in both the cases. To make model interpretable, they reported a few concrete examples of user descriptions along with the music playlists that were actually recommended to cold users from these segments on the Deezer app. And it seems that recommended music is very relevant to the segments. I hope you liked the explanation of the paper. You can find the paper link and code base in the description. So what about next paper? In the next video, I'll be discussing how dropout can be used in cold start recommendation scenarios, which was published in NeurIPS. And the paper titled DropoutNet Addressing Cold Start in Recommender Systems. That's all for this video. If you like the content, please like and share the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get latest updates. Thank you.